Welcome to a very brief 101 to digitizing small hand samples. As we know from one of the previous lectures, everything comes down to acquiring the photos, and not just photos, but also photos taken from the right angle and right distances. So in general, we can actually make a top 4 priority list of how to acquire images of your sample. And that includes, first and foremost, that your full frame should be used. Secondly, we want to have large overlap between the photos, which means we need to use small angles between the photos as we're going around and around the sample. Thirdly, when we're taking the photos, the images should be bright enough and we should have more than sufficient light of known warmth when we're taking the photos. Finally, we want to use the right aperture, with the smallest aperture possible giving the greatest depth in each of our photos. In the 3D space, this translates to having at least several of these halos. Here we see 1, 2, 3, 4 different halos which have all been taken at different angles from the sample. When importing the photos into your processing software, this is also one of the first steps in which you can actually quality assure your project. After the very first alignment of your photos, these spheres or these halos should actually be proper circles. Each of the photos of these halos or spheres is subsequently used in the photo alignment and photo matching steps. And that is done by identifying unique features in each of the images. As seen here, we've got 2 photos that have both imaged the unique features P and Q. In each of the photos, however, their locations are slightly different, and we can use this difference to calculate their depth. These correlations have been visualized on the rock samples shown here, in which each of the blue dots is a known unique feature on a different photo. These correlated points, or the sparse cloud, however, are not yet aware of the georeferencing or real-world coordinate system. In order to actually obtain that, we want to introduce something called ground control points, which are known locations within the image which correlate to a known location in the real world in 3D. In this case, we've actually used a Aruco marker set, which are machine-readable markers which allow you to run a script to automatically determine their positions within an image and assign those image locations real-world coordinates. By using these kind of ground control points, we can actually reach resolutions and accuracies of less than a millimeter. It is, however, very, very important that we only have one single orientation or halo in which we use these ground referencing. If we continue adding multiple halos, each with their own georeferencing points, then the computer gets confused and all of a sudden all images are superimposed and we lose the 3D structure of our models. This should help you on your way to digitize your very first hand sample. Many processing steps remain that help you fine-tune the results, such as cleaning of the different point clouds and meshes. However, the right acquisition process and foundation remain the most important, once again stressing that bad input always results in bad output.